It's your boy. So, nobody has to give me anything when they see me in the street. So, don't. But if you see me, because it's a thing, everybody's been giving me cigars lately, don't give me one that's stale. Please keep it. I got all excited. I'm on a road trip. I said I'm going to go get my lighter, go get my cutter, and I'll smoke this beautiful long Monte Cristo, a Romeo and Juliet. And I actually thought it was a Monte Cristo. Look now. It's falling apart because it's stale. Thank you anyway, Bobo. But listen, no stale cigars for Hootie. So, what's up? Hootie's community, Hootie's social club. I love you guys. Listen to me. It's a small community, but it's a really good community. I love my DMs and I love my texts. You know what I love about my DMs and my texts? I haven't slept in 2 days, by the way. This fucking road trip's been killed. So what I love, and I need to shave, what I love is that when I get the DMs and I get the text messages and it's, oh, Hootie, where you at? What's going on? Love the content. This and it's in the beginning or the end. It's I hope you're doing well, family, blah, 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 everything. I love the Hootie Social Club community. It really grew to be a positive community. And you all know I'm not one to fuck with because I'm out there. But no, listen to me. My community is the best. My bricklayers, my plumbers, my local tree, my electricians from all over, my white collar workers, FIDI, my finance guys, my bank guys. There's a few out there. My marketing guys, my athletes. Keep them on the down low. A few entertainers, keep them on the down low. You know, got that NDA. So, listen, I appreciate you guys. I really do, you know. And it's funny because when I hear these guys talk about subscribe, like, and then somebody said to me in an interview, Hootie, you never tell nobody to subscribe. You never say, hit that like button, do me a favor. Ooh. Like, when I see these guys that talk about their killers, they earn $50 million a week, and then they're saying, please, whatever you please, hit that like. We need that like button. You know these guys didn't have it in them in the streets. They were fucking fugazi. Who the fuck, please, listen, oh gods, do what the fuck you want. Listen, you want to hit the like button, my guys? Hit the like button. I'm talking about my Hootie Social. You don't want to hit the like button? Don't hit the like button. You want to leave a comment? Leave a comment. You want to subscribe? Subscribe. I don't give a fuck what you want to do. As long as you're healthy, I'm okay. As long as you like the content, who gives a fuck? None of them are getting a $100,000 plaque from YouTube. Eat a fucking dick, your sister's ass. Are you kidding me? These guys are not fucking Sammy or Michael. You're not getting the... These guys are fucking terrible. These are bozos. So, please, listen, guys, I love you. Do whatever the fuck you want. Hit subscribe, hit like, don't, leave a comment. Who gives a fuck? Mangi gang, I don't give a fuck. You my guys, do what the fuck you want. I'm with you. I'm with you guys. You don't want to hit subscribe? Don't hit subscribe. You don't want to hit like? Don't hit like. I only got 4,000. Who gives a fuck? Begging for this shit. Are you kidding me? Hey, guys, hit that like button. All of a sudden, they're fucking salesmen. They're throwing their fucking marketing. Like they're going to do infomercials. Are you fucking kidding me? Stand-up guys, murderers. Hit that like button. Yeah, what are they going to get, an extra 15 cents? Not even. I think it's like 3 cents. Who the fuck even knows? I haven't got a check yet from them, so I wouldn't know. I'm not one of those guys. So, I do this because my community keeps coming out and grabbing me. I haven't had time lately. I've been busy. Look at me. I'm on the road. My eyes. So I'm doing this because my community writes me and asks me to do this. But the thing is, I don't know. I tell a story about a pinch, a really good pinch. It's 800 views. I tell a story about these bozos, and it's 5,000 views. So, you guys want that. All right. What do they say in this YouTube? The gossip, the tea. I don't know. They got these words I'm old school. I'm old school. You know what you want? You want the Scott-O. That's what you want. I use the old school words. You know, I used to be that guy. I was the pop culture in the streets. I used to love all that new shit that came up, but I was young then. I'm an old man now. You know? So do you just get that? I used to tell people I got a memory like an elephant. I can remember kindergarten, and a Sicilian guy names his kid, a Sicilian name, a biblical name, and I was thinking of the name all last week, and then I get where I'm going. I couldn't remember the name for nothing. I don't know what this is. And then as soon as I see him, I remember the name. I say, oh, how's so-and-so? How's he doing, you kid? You know, like, where does that come from, right? That's what I'm saying. So back, we're a little older now. We still wear our Yankee hats, but graduation cap. So, you guys, I love you guys. The comments. Hope you're doing good. Hope you and the families do. Not that it matters. But that just shows me that the Hootie Social Club community, they're that. They're that. That's my peoples. So with that, I was asking this in a cafe about Dom Cicale. Now listen, I don't know Dom personally. I know his reputation. I have nothing against him. Let him, whatever you're doing, you're doing. But my listeners want to hear about that. They know I'm on the streets for 38 years. They know I know everything about the life. If you're coming into this, you can't be phony because I'm going to know you, no matter where you're from. So, 100%, he's a thug. He's a gangster with an A, not an ER. Even though he was made and a captain, he wasn't respected by none. He was feared. And I know people say you'd rather have fear than respect. I get that. Love and fear, that whole bullshit. But he's a stuttering prick. He doesn't know how to talk the life. He doesn't know how to act the life. He never looked the life. His rabbi in the Gambino family even said it, Mickey Paradiso, that he's the type of guy that you can't sit down and talk with. He's got no common sense of the life. Tough, killer, so you just got to kill him. You can't, that's the type of guy he was. He doesn't listen to reason. When Al had the beef in Rayos with Vinny Gorgeous, he was the only guy we sat on because we knew Vinny, that was Vinny's guy. Even though we found out later on, Vinny was like jealous, kid shit. That Bonanno family's ass backwards. They just, you don't even know. Let me tell you, I'll give you the quick story about the Bonanos. So I go to Vinny or Sarah and I ask him at the luncheonette, I say, is so-and-so with you or your family, And he goes, that guy's a jerk off. Split his fucking head open, Hootie. Boom. Go. Guy, whatever. I'm not saying who did it, what did it. I did it, whatever. The guy gets badly hurt. I run into Ronnie G. And he says to me, you got your guy, you cracked my guy's head open. You know this guy's with me. And I said, he never said he was with you. I said, I went to your uncle, and your uncle told me to split his head open. Like, he didn't even like him. I asked him if he was with him or his family, and he told me straight out, Hootie split his head open. Guy's an asshole, piece of shit, whatever he said at that point. And he went, my uncle? I said, Uncle Vinny. He was like, get the fuck out of here. Now, he knows that I don't bullshit or lie, so he's like, all right, Hootie. Kind of put a little strain because the guy supposedly was kicking up good money. Plus, he was from Howard Beach. I'm from Ozone Park. So, kind of put a little strain. But me and Ronnie were always so tight. And I had mad respect for him. The guy's a fucking gangster. A thug. He's the real deal. ER at the end of his name. He's the real deal. Believe me. And he does his time, whatever it is. He doesn't cry. He doesn't whine. So, with that, a month goes by. I go to Aqueduct. Vinny's in the grandstands. I'm going to the clubhouse. I run into Vinny. And he says, I seen that guy. He goes, you tuned him up pretty good. I said, what are you talking about? He goes, he's got him good. He deserved it, right? Now I'm like, wait a second. So I said, he's with you guys. He goes, I already told you. I said, right after it got done, your nephew came to see me. And he told me the guy's with him. He loves the guy. He goes, my nephew, Ronnie? I said, yeah. He goes, he's with him? He goes, fuck him then. They don't tell me anything. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I just went about my business. He was going, and I was just like they just, because you got to remember, they don't do social clubs. They don't go to weddings. They don't go to funerals. At that point, Joe Messina outlawed all of that. So you never know. And they straighten guys out. And until you get introduced, you don't know. I was at so many places when watching Bonanno guys get introduced because nobody knew these guys were straightened out. Every time you went out and you ran into guys, they were getting introduced as friends because you never know with that family. They were just straightening guys out. But going back to the story, this guy was a real deal guy. So Vinny never told anybody. We sat on him the next day. Then the word got back to Bobby. I had to go that morning. But we went that night, sat on him, came back, and then we heard that he didn't tell anybody. And then we found out that he's, this guy Dom makes like 15, 20 million a year. Him and Vinny got like this bantering back and forth nonsense or whatever. Like they like each other, don't like each other. And that's how that went. So we were like, all right, fuck this guy. We're not ever worried about him. He's got nobody on his side. We're not worried about him. He's a big earner. He's a killer. He can order hits. He gets guys to do hits. So he's the real deal when it comes to that. But the whole thing about knowing the life and knowing this, maybe they read a book somewhere and he's talking all that nonsense. I know when they came out of the sit down, Bobby was like, I didn't understand a word the guy said. What does he speak? Supposedly he's supposed to be Sicilian too. And Bobby's Sicilian. And he's like, I couldn't understand the guy. This guy straightened out. He's like, he stuttered the whole time. He couldn't pronounce things. I didn't even know where I was at with this guy. And rewinding that, when they set that meeting and Gene told us that he gave him the message that they wanted to see him before they cracked the kid's head open, he ignored it. That's why he went to his guy, and his guy told him, get a pistol and shoot him in the head. Because we spoke to the Bananas in Howard Beach, and they said, listen, Sal Vitale never liked him. They'll want his earn. There's no repercussions. Ace follows orders. Don't worry about that guy. I seen him at the St. Gennaro feast with a dragon on his shoulder. Like, it was just, they were just like, nobody would, like, because those are the things you got to worry about in the life. If a guy's got a crew, that's why when Sammy and them went to Mickey Paradiso, he wasn't even, but he was a street guy, and he had a crew, and his crew was going to back him up. You didn't fuck with a guy like that, right? So what Hootie did throughout the life, which gave me a little bit of step above, yeah, everybody knows Hootie had a big mouth, talk shit, did this, did that, but I backed it up. But that was my game. That was my thing. I'm a talker. But they don't realize you could do two things at once. Half of these mamalukes can't walk and chew bubblegum. But I listened, and I paid attention. And when you're hearing a guy, I was away for 5 years, they didn't take care of my family, tried to fuck my mother, they tried to take my money, I put a check on that guy. I put a check on this guy. So you don't realize, and I use this, and I listen to that, because if a guy is willing to take your money and you're not doing a life bid or fuck your gumata or do this or do that, those guys in your crew are not going to come look for me if something happens to you. So you got to pay attention. Hey, guys don't realize that you hear these guys talking. They don't tell you things like this. You get this from Hootie. You want to know how that life is supposed to be lived, you come see Hootie. I'll give you the whole fucking rundown. You don't need to be straightened out. You need to pay attention when you're invited into those rooms, into those conversations. And I talked to many guys that were street guys, made guys, and I would hear all of that and like, they got no crew. And they got no crew. They wanted this guy's earn. They wanted this. They wanted that. They're not going to come look for me if something happens to him, or look for my guys, or look for this. So anytime I was just sitting, what do you think about this guy? Don't worry about it. What do you mean? He got three guys. Those three guys would not look for it. Like, how do you know that? I know. And it worked. It worked to be in my favor. And, everyone was always wondering, is this guy going to step up? So I paid attention. And these guys are the smartest guys. Listen, these guys are extremely smart. They're not dumb in any category. Just a lot of guys don't pay attention. They got ADD, they got ADHD, they're all over the place. That has nothing to do with being smart and not being smart. That's just paying attention. So, with that, we knew this guy, there was nobody coming for him. And the kid that was going to shoot him was a fucking working kid, so it didn't matter. He said, if he comes for you, and that's, I'd heard somebody told me that he actually mentioned it. He told him, if you see him, you got to shoot him in his head, not his leg, not his arm, put him to sleep. Nobody's going to miss him. It just happened to be, he was washing his car, and two other guys snuck up on him with a hammer. Nothing wrong with that. And then that whole sending flowers, we sent Gene flowers after a Banana guy and his crew and a Genovese guy put him in the hospital. And then this asshole lost, I think, $100,000. He's supposed to be a millionaire. On Super Bowl Sunday, you've probably read the newspaper, he's the kid that jumped off the Whitestone Bridge during the snow. He missed the water and hit a snowbank. Fucked himself up and lived because he lost with the bookmakers. You got killers, and this guy would have went through a wall with me. I heard he say, he would have shot guys, he would have did this. They beat him up like a dog. He was on the floor giving you up with a guy in your crew. That's how much respect they had for you. Now, I'm not taking away. Like I said, I'm not demoting this guy. He's a killer. His crew were killers. He ordered murders, 100%. but he didn't do the first thing about it. He could come on and mention all the fucking things he wanted. They thought he was a stuttering prick. Nobody ever wanted to listen to him. The Gambinos didn't respect him. We knew, you see the guy, you shoot him in his head. We went right up to the Bronx. I knew exactly where he was, where he lived. His own guys told me. Like, we were right there. It's that easy. Bang. Those are the things. You could be a tough guy. But when guys are just willing to give you up over a beating, a little pressure, maybe a drink or two or a snort, it's over. Doesn't make a difference how tough you are. You could be found and it's over and nobody even cares. And no one's going to come to your funeral because they're not allowed. But I'm sure he's got great stories. Nobody's Sammy. Let's get that straight. Let me explain something to you. Which, this is what I don't believe in. They had this thing when a guy, because it worked with Roy DeMeo. The only way they were going to get Roy DeMeo was having his crew do it. Roy DeMeo was not, anybody else he was coming to see, he was bringing in a Uzi and he was taking everybody out. So I understand that. But you got these old guys that you're sending, because this was great. This was at the after dinner for John Sr. after his wake in 2002. We all went back to La Bella Vita. So they're there, like what they did, right? Whatever they're going to do, whatever was going to be done. They had him. They sat on his house. They could have clipped him when he walked outside. They got cold feet. They got afraid. Not cold feet. Afraid. Afraid. Because Sammy's that guy. Even though he was old and whatever, out of the game, not paying attention, they had him. They had him at the restaurant. They had him at his place. And this is why Sammy is a gangster. I don't care what anybody says. John Cena is one of my favorite people that ever walked this earth. Has nothing to do with John. Has to do with the life. They tried to make a concoction that was going to blow up when Sammy drove by and kill him. Because the guys in his crew were so scared of him, knowing when he was on the street, he was the real deal. Okay? That they couldn't walk up to him and shoot him in his head. But now you outsource that to guys that don't know Sammy. They walk up to him and shoot him in the back of the head, right? And Sammy says it all the time. And that's why I got a great deal of respect. No one's going to ever have the followers like Sammy has. 19 murderers, underboss, did his own work, put work in, wasn't a social club guy, but he lived that life. He lived that life, okay? He was boxing in a gym. He had Louis Melito around. Louis Melito, Danny Farmer, stand-up guy to this day, out of his mind. He had a great crew, right? Now, you all watched that show. I never really got it. Housewives, what is it? Mob Wives. That Hector Pagan Jr. Well, before he did whatever he did, I was with him. And he told me a story. Now, this guy, I knew him from the streets. Tough with his hands, tough with a pistol. Whatever he did after that, I don't know. But he was tough. And he was a boxer. So he used to box in the same gym as Sammy. He told me straight up. And he was leaving the gym one day, and Danny Farmer grabbed him and said, Junior, Sammy wants to go a few rounds. He goes, I've been boxing all day. I don't want to go. He goes, come on. Sammy said a few rounds. He goes, listen, hey, I don't want to do it. I'm beat up. I've been working all day boxing, running, whatever he was doing. You know, he said, come on. He wants to go for it. He goes, Danny, listen. He goes, what's going to happen? I'm going to get in that ring. And this is the way he is. He's arrogant. This guy he actually used to sit with Joe Messina. Very arrogant. He said, listen, I'm not letting him beat me up. A lot younger, I'm a lot faster, and I boxed. I'm going to hurt him. And what am I going to do when I'm going to hurt him? I can kill one of yous. I can maybe kill two of yous. I can't kill 5 or 6 of yous. He got all shooters around him. I don't need this fucking headache. And Danny Farmer says, you're fucking nuts, and walked out. That's who Junior was. And he said this back then in the 80s. He was like, yo, this guy had shooters and earners and everything else around him. And I ran into a lot of old timers because you didn't like it at that time to speak about Sammy. And all of them ever said, they said this fucking guy was a gangster. So no one's ever getting that $100,000 plaque. Michael could talk that life. He's got a gazillion followers through all his other stuff that follow him on his mob stuff as well. But Sammy is the real deal. Get to Mikey Scars. Listen, we weren't worried about Mikey. He came out of nowhere with John Jr. We didn't know if it was a fluke or not, but we didn't care. It didn't apply to anybody from East New York to Ozone Park to Howard Beach. So we didn't care. He was a Brooklyn guy on that end. But he sat down with all 5 fam. One of the smartest smartest, wise guys to ever walk this earth was Mikey Scars. Earned big. Spoke with all 5 families. 2 hands, he was grabbing everything. Didn't give a fuck about nobody. He was a gangster. He was a gangster. His fucking stories, and very well educated, very well spoken, can fucking pinpoint everything that happened, what happened. People send me Mikey Scars stories, and I'm like, 100%. 100%. I've never gotten a story from him that wasn't 100% on point about the life and in the streets, whatever that other stuff is. I don't like to go on YouTube, so I know he talks about other things, but the life in the streets, 100%. And he knew every Lucchese member. He knew every Gambino. That was one thing. He knew every member from every family. He made sure of that. A lot of guys don't do that these days. There was a list. Guys used to carry a list. He knew everybody. He could tell you while he was on the streets of all the guys that were straightened out in every crew, in every family. That was him. He was a smart guy. So he's another guy to follow. They listen to. I'm sure Dom's got crazy stories. I got nothing against Dom. God bless him. Good luck. But again, I'm giving my people that ask me the truth. Comes to the life, he didn't respect it. He didn't like it. And anybody who speaks in a third party, you know, I'm a man. I'm a tough guy. Now, when I tell you a story, I say I'm a street guy. Meaning I'm trying to separate being in the life and being on the street. I won't sit there and say I'm just a street guy. I use it in the conversation. But when somebody's like, I'm a tough guy, I'm a dog, I did this, I did that, I take those with a grain of salt. Okay? Anybody that tells you that there's something, they're probably not. When somebody shows you who they are, believe them. When somebody tells you who they are, they're not. Loudest guy in the room's the weakest guy in the room. Now, I said luck on an episode. Somebody hit me up about that. It's not luck. I say luck. It's chance. It's what we believe in to be, you know, we don't use the word karma. We don't use the word luck. We believe it's all chance. It's not luck. I'm trying to give it to you so you can understand it. We don't believe in luck. You're 100%. Bad luck, good luck, timing. Everything is timing. Timing. So whoever said that, I misplaced the word with luck and timing. Apologize. Don't believe in luck. It's all timing. And chance. It's always chance because we go out into the streets every day. It's chance. We don't believe in luck. We don't believe in luck. And we all believe in a God. So when we're in the streets and we're in that life. So I apologize for that and love the support. I want to make sure this episode is to touch on everything that you guys want to hear. So you got the Sammy story. He was the real deal. He went to meetings. You know how they say Nicky Carrazzo's never lost a sit down? Everything went Sammy's way. The dude was a thug. I remember, and I was a kid, people talking about this guy will clip you, don't go see him. 19 bodies that you know of. And you say he ordered them. It's beautiful people out here. Oof. I keep trying to get a snag. So, regardless if you got the power to order them or the power to do them yourself, it's 19 murders, my man. Charles Manson didn't kill anybody. Just remember that, okay? And let's also remember Gas Pipe, the Mayo's crew, Bath Avenue. Let's remember the serious guys. Sammy was around for that. So if you lived through that, you lived through the 70s and 80s in that life, and you got a reputation, you're just not, a lot of guys just coasted. You got a reputation and you're a millionaire and you make it, believe me, you're a serious guy. And listen, I can tell you who's not and who is. There's no sugarcoating it. It's your man, it's your boy. What you want me to do? I'm giving you the solid effect. And listen, you've never even seen me put a piece of Sammy up. I got nothing to do with them, but you just want to know. You want to know. There's guys on here that killed people that didn't have anything to do with the life, but they may talk about the life, but the killings didn't have anything to do with the life. And probably Dom Cicale. He's probably the next guy if you want to talk about it, but he didn't obey the life, so I can't. He was a main guy. He was a captain. I'm not taking that away from him. But they did their own thing. Like, they didn't ask permission. They didn't accept invitations to meetings and sit downs. Like, so it's all out of whack. Like, if you don't stand for something, you're going to fall for anything, right? That's, everybody knows. I'm not giving you the saying that you've never heard before. So that means anything in life. So if you join an organization and you don't stand for those rules in the organization, you'll fall for anything. As point being, now they're no good, right? That's just how it works. In any situation, you're a plumber. Why are you trying to fucking screw in a light bulb? I'm just using that. Why are you trying to play with electric? You know how to put toilets in. Why are you trying to use BX? You don't use BX cable if you're putting fucking toilets in. Like, stand for what you stand for. Oh, listen, I'm a plumber. You got to call an electrician for that. You know what I mean? Like, so that's all anything. I'm just giving you guys, because I got a wide variety of an audience, and I got people that are watching every word I say. Holy shit, luck. You said luck. You just don't believe in luck. We don't. You're right. It's just the same. If I didn't have bad luck, I wouldn't have none. You just say it. You don't believe it. Believe me, these guys don't believe in luck. Because if they did, they wouldn't be in the streets. They're not flipping a coin going, luck, luck. You're flipping a coin for chance. Promise you that. So, I got to watch everything I say on here. Using my guys, the Hootie Social Club supporters. Not fans, supporters. If you give me a cigar, make sure it's not stale. But yeah, I appreciate it. I hope that you love this episode. You just want to hear about anybody else in the streets, just ask me. I was that guy. Don't have me sit on you. It's your boy. Stay up.